Today we have to discuss the class 12th question paper of history. Basically, this is the sample question paper, and we have to discuss with the solution as well. Maximum marks is 80, time is 3 hours. You have to read it out. What's the general instructions? So let us start just the questions. Section A. Identify the given image from the following option. Bhima, Sahadev, Dushashan, Karna. ये पिक्चर किसकी है? दिस इज द पिक्चर ऑफ भीमा. मैं आपको सिर्फ आंसर्स ही बताता हूँ. Okay. Which of the following commodities was recovered large number from the archaeological sites? Bricks. Which of the following activities were funded by Sultan Jahan Begum? All of the above. Construction of museum, publication of volumes on Sachi, and construction of guest house. Question number 4. Identify the ruler with the following set of information. He was known as the Piyadashi, and he adopted the path of peace after the battle of Kalinga. The name of the ruler is Asoka. The representative of the Muslim orthodoxy were known as the Ulmas. Okay. What was the stand of Gandhiji on the subject of separate electorates for depressed class? He opposed the separate electorates. Okay. Question number 6. Which of the bodies now preserves and controls the site of Sanchi Stupa? The Archaeological Survey of India, ASI. The Dargah of the famous Sufi saint Moinuddin Chishti situated in which of the following sites, cities? Ajmer. Question number 8. Ibn Battuta description about the China is often compared with the description of Marco Polo. Question number 9. Yes. Next one. Given below two statements, one label as assertion and second one is the region. तो इसमें आपको करेक्ट जो है C इज द करेक्ट वन, R इज करेक्ट एंड बट A इज नॉट करेक्ट. रीजन इज करेक्ट बट assertion is not correct. Yes. Question number 11th. Consider the following statements and select the correct form of the following options. Consider the following statements about the Quit India movement. It was launched by Gandhi जी, बिल्कुल सही है. Independent governments were formed in the several parts of nation. ये भी सही है. तो यानी फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड आपका करेक्ट है, जो कि A यहाँ पर सही हो जाएगा. आगे चलते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 12. रैयतवारी सिस्टम वाज इंट्रोड्यूस बाय व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग वाइसराय? लॉर्ड मुनरो. क्वेश्चन नंबर 13. कंप्लीट द फॉलोइंग करेक्ट ऑप्शंस. आइन अकबरी, अबुल फजल आलमगिरी नामा, मिर्जा मोहम्मद काजिम. क्वेश्चन नंबर 14. फर्स्ट डायरेक्टर ऑफ ASI Alexander Cunningham. Which among the following is correctly matched? Marco Polo, Italian. Number 16th. The epic Mahabharata is written by which of the following personalities? Ved Vyas. महाभारत को वेद व्यास ने लिखा है. The seals used to contain some sort of the writing probably related to the name and the title of the honor. Question number 18th. मैच करना है आपको. लिस्ट 1 फर्स्ट का D यहाँ से देख सकते हैं, सेकेंड का A, ठीक है, कौटिल्य अर्थशास्त्र, थर्ड का B एंड फोर्थ का कालिदासा, मालविका अग्निमित्रम. चलते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 19 पर. इसका जो करेक्ट आंसर दैट इज A. बोथ असर्शन एंड रीजन दोनों ही करेक्ट हैं, बट R इज नॉट द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ A. क्वेश्चन नंबर 20. इन 1857 sepoys reached the Red Fort in India. Conceived Bahadur Shah to lead the mutiny. क्वेश्चन नंबर 21. Following which is not correctly matched, सही से नहीं मैच किया गया है, दैट इज द A. राम राया बैटल ऑफ रक्षा तांगड़ी. ये इनकरेक्ट है, बाकी सब करेक्टली मैच्ड है. सेक्शन B पर आ जाते हैं. नाउ सम क्वेश्चंस एज वेल. शॉर्ट आंसर क्वेश्चन है ये. हाउ डिड द मैसेज अबाउट द रिवोल्ट स्प्रेड? The message about the revolt spread in the following ways. It has been often noticed the message of the rebellion was carried by the ordinary men and women and places by religious men too. From Meerut there was reports of a fakir had appeared riding on the elephant that the sepoy were visiting him frequently. In Lucknow after the annexation of Awadh there were many religious leaders of self-styled prophets and priests restriction of the British rule. Question number 14. Local leaders emerged urging the peasants, jamidars and tribals to revolt in some places. Shah Mahal mobilized the villagers of Paragna Badaut in Uttar Pradesh. Guru, the tribal cultivator, and the Singham in the Chota Nagpur became a rebel leader of the coal tribals of the region. Okay. Question number 22 का और briefly discuss about this participation of the Talukdars Awadh in the revolt of 1857. The annexation of Awadh displaced not in just the Nawab but is also disposed the Talukdars of the region. Before coming of the British, the Talukdars maintained armed men, built forts, and enjoyed a degree of autonomy. The countryside of Awadh was dotted with the estates of forts and the Talukdars who were now disarmed and their forts destroyed. The British revenue settlement, known as the Summary Settlement of 1856, was based on the assumption that the Talukdars were interlopers with no permanent stake in land. The summary settlements proceeded to remove the Talukdars wherever possible. The demand of revenue was doubled. It generated a sense of anger among the Talukdars. The disposition of the Talukdars meant the breakdown of the entire social order. The ties of the loyalty and the patronage had bound the peasants to the Talukdars were disrupted. How did Mahatma Gandhi want to celebrate the 26th January 1930? The Gandhi suggested that the time of the meeting should be advertised in the traditional way by the beating of drums. The celebrations would begin with the hoisting of national flag. The rest of the day would be spent in doing some constructive work. Whether it is in the spinning of service of untouchables, reunion of Hindus, Muslims, and the prohibition work, or even all those together with which is not impossible, participants would take the pledge affirming that it was the inalienable right of the Indian people, as of any other people, to have freedom and to enjoy the fruits of their toil. Toil का मतलब होता है उनकी मेहनत, उनका परिश्रम. If any government deprives the people of these rights and oppresses them, the people have for the right to abolish it. Now, question number 24. Visual images and literature as much as writing of the history have helped in keeping the alive memory of revolt of 1857. Assess this statement. The writings of the history and the art and literature contributed remarkable, immortalized and sacred memory of the struggle of 1857. The leaders of revolt were presented as the heroes taking the country towards the battlefield. They were depicted as heroes inspiring the common masses to begin struggle against the oppressive colonial power. Many heroic poems were composed narrating the bravery of Lakshmi Bai holding a sword in one hand and reins of the horse in the other, fighting the independence of the motherland. Thus, it becomes clear visual representation produced various images of the revolt. We should understand that these images were not a mere expression of the contemporary ideas and sentiments, but they also reflected the contemporary sensibilities. Question number 25 पर आ जाते हैं. Mention the factors accounted for the constant expansion of agricultural land during the 16th and 17th century. पहला कारण है abundance of land, ज़मीन बहुत ज़्यादा थी, and labor and the mobility of peasants were factors that accounted the constant expansion of agriculture. Irrigation received the state support as well. ठीक है, राज्य सरकारों का जो है उनको सपोर्ट मिलता था, स्टेट का सपोर्ट मिलता था. Through the agriculture was labor intensive, peasants did use technologies often harnessed cattle energy. Question number 26. Give a brief sketch of Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni का जो जन्म हुआ था 973 CE and Khwarazm in present day Uzbekistan में हुआ था. Khwarazm was an important center of the education. Al-Biruni received the best available education over there and well versed in many languages including Syrian, Persian, Arabic and Sanskrit. Also, he was not aware of the Greek language, yet he was completely familiar with the works of Plato and other Greek philosophers. He read their works through the Arabic translation. Muhammad of Ghazni attacked Khwarazm in 101 CE and took back many scholars and poets to his capital. Now, white travelers who came to India did sometimes took social inequalities for granted as natural state of affairs. Travelers who came to India sometimes took social inequalities like a caste system for granted because they did not consider it unique. For example, Al-Biruni had explained the caste system in India. He did not consider the unique as such. Social divisions were prevalent in ancient Persia. He even accepted the Brahmanical description of caste system, but he did not accept the notion of the pollution of the social pollution was contrary to the law of nature. Actually, he tried to explain the caste system in comparison with the parallel of other societies. But he also expressed all the humans are treated equally in the Islam and they differ only in their observance. So piety. क्वेश्चन नंबर 27 की बात करेंगे अब. Why did why 6th century BC is considered to be a major turning point in the ancient history? 6th century BC proves a major turning point in ancient history due to the following reasons: the establishment of major cities and the growing prevalence of use of iron and introduction of a formal coinage using the sum of the features of early 6th BCE. The introduction of two new religions, Buddhism and Jainism, also challenged the social structure in the society. सेक्शन सी पर आ जाते हैं. Discuss the special sets of demands that the linguistic minorities, religious minorities, and the Dalits put forward in the front of the Constituent Assembly. What was the contribution of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in the formation of the Constitution of India? There were separate demands for the Constituent Assembly for every section of the country. The linguistic minorities wanted the protection of their mother tongue. The religious minorities wanted the right of to freely follow their religion without fear interference in their faith. The Dalit demanded that the end of discriminatory system in the caste-based oppression. The demands of social and cultural rights were raised in the almost every section of this country. There were demand of the equal political rights from every section of the universal adult franchise. Now, the B part of the question: what was the contribution of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in the formation of the Constitution of India? The contribution of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in the formation of the Constitution of India is comparable to none. B.R. Ambedkar was a prominent lawyer and economist, due to which the perfect match for the Constituent Assembly. He was appointed the law minister of the country and he served the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution. His role was significant in the safeguarding the rights of the Dalits and the other minorities. He analyzed the Constitution of India on every adequate parameter law so that it was free from anomalies. He suggested a strong central government to maintain the national unity of the country. Now, question number 29: discuss the occupations of the four castes in ancient society. Or what kind of treatment was received by the untouchables like Chandals? First one we have to discuss the occupations of the four castes as Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras specified in the society. The general duty of the Brahmanas was teach, study Vedas, and they used to perform the sacrifices and receive the gift from the king. The primary duty of the Kshatriyas was to engage the warfare, give justice to the common people, and they used to get the sacrifice performed and make gifts to the Brahmins and other religious institutions. Vaisyas were generally engaged in the trading activities, agriculture, and worked as a pastoralist. The occupation of the Sudras was to serve the people in the higher three Varnas. The untouchables were ill-treated from the other section of the society. They were considered as a polluted caste and the people did not dine with them. Okay. These people used to inhabit the areas on the outskirts of the city, were not allowed to enter the main city during the night. They had to use the discarded utensils, wear cloth, dead and ornaments made of the iron. They generally performed lower label jobs like cremation of the corpses and the sanitation work. Some of their classes had to sound a clapper while moving on the streets to be aware of the other people, as this shadow was also considered polluted. Why do Alvards and Narayans travel in different parts of the country? Why did they used to during their journey? The Alvards and Narayans generally started their journey from Tamil Nadu, then started traveling all over the country. During their journey, they used to sing hymns in the Tamil and devotion of the Lord Vishnu and Shiva. They identify the certain shrines about abodes of their deities, and the places identified by the Alvards and Narayans were abodes of their deities. So the construction of the temple frequently. The construction of the temples were developed at the centers of the pilgrimage. The poet saints also used to attract the several followers towards the styles of the worship was adopted by men. Why Buddhist and Jainism were opposed by the Tamil saints? There were several reasons due to which Buddhism and Jainism were opposed by the Tamil saints. Some reasons are as follows. The composition of the Narayans suggested the hostility between the Narayans and the Buddhism and Jainism. This hostility was due to the competition among the different religious groups of the royal patronage. The powerful rules of the Chola dynasty generally supported the Bhakti and the Brahminical traditions. The rulers used to grant lands resources for the construction of the temples on Vishnu and Shiva. The rulers also wanted to receive the support of these saints and to claim their origin was divine. Now we have come to the section D. Read the following sources carefully and answer the questions. पैसेज को पढ़ना है and then you have to give the answers. मैं सीधा आंसर्स पर आता हूँ. First one, what is the significance of Rig Veda? Rig Veda is the oldest Veda, consists of the hymns written in the praise of the variety of deities. The major deities are Agni, Indra, Soma. One virtual occasion the hymns were chanted. Major chanting of the hymns took place during the performance of the sacrifices in which the people prayed the cattle, sons, good health, and long life. What is the meant by elaborate sacrifices? The sacrifices that were performed by the chiefs and the kings had to be conducted under the supervision of the Brahmins was known as the elaborate sacrifices. Some of the examples of these types of sacrifices are Rajasuya and Ashwamedha. Now 32, question number 32 पर चलते हैं. The sprawling city, इसको भी आपको पढ़ना है. Which city is called the sprawling city? Vijaya Nagara. The answer is first one. How is the size of the city described here? The city is a big because it can't be seen from any one spot. The bees used to climb the hill as a great part of it, and these also could not see in the because it lies between the several ranges of the hills. The city is very beautiful to the sight, and there were many groves of trees within it, and the gardens of the houses conduits of water to flow into the midst of it. The places were lakes, and the king's palm grove, other rich fruit-bearing trees fed this place. Question number 33 पर आते हैं. You have to just read this passage and answer the questions that follows. Answer first we have to see the question. Why the estates of Zamidar were often auctioned? The estates of Zamidar were often auctioned as they failed to pay the revenue to the government. Due to this, the British officia organized the auction of estates of Zamidar. Who rise weakened the authority of the Zamidars? The rise of the different classes of the people, such as the Chotidars, were rich peasants, village headmen, and the Havaldars mandals weakened the authority of the powers of Zamidar. These people influenced the politics in the villages. How did the Jotdars assert their control over the estate of Zamidars? The land of the auctions by the government due to the default of the payment was purchased by the Jotdars, and this way the control of Jotdars over the administration of the village got stronger. Now we have come to the section E. On the given political map of India, locate the label of the following appropriate symbols. Ajanta, image put this side. Lucknow, a main center of the revolt 1857. Kabul, territory under the control of Mughals. Puhar, an important town during the Chola period. And 1 and 2 centers of the national movement. Identify them and write their correct names in the lines drawn near them. तो यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं फर्स्ट एंड टू देयर इज द चौरी चौरा कांड, आपने सुना होगा. उसके बाद लखनऊ, दिस इज द मेन रिवॉल्ट, एंड काबुल, this is the Bombay, and Ajanta and Pohar is here. Okay, you can see from these things. Yes, this was the question paper of class 12th, subject history. I hope you have go through with the question paper. Thank you. That's enough for this one.